Howdy folks, my name is Reddy Apko, and welcome back to part number 6 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. In this part, we're going to be taking on Hyrule Tower, and I'm going to be quickly getting into things because we've got a lot of progress to be making in this part, and unlike the previous couple of parts, I'm actually going to set a realistic goal, which is just to get through Hyrule Castle here, which has some baller music. This is some incredible 16-bit music here. And it would inspire the Hyrule Castle theme of many games from here on out. You're seeing a recurring theme that this Zelda in particular inspired many of the ones that came after it, and you know, you can totally understand why if you just take the time to sit down and play it yourself. It introduces so many brilliant mechanics that, I mean, how could you not keep these things going forward? It would be a shame to dismiss all of these ideas, as a matter of fact, when you can, you know, evolve them and turn them into so many different great things. So, Hyrule Castle is really just a combat gauntlet more than anything else. You're gonna come across a lot of rooms that are just depositing you in there with a couple of guys, usually with swords. It's a little unpleasant of a time, but then that has to be how, you know, Link's enemies feel whenever he walks into a room, right? It's just, oh great, dude with a sword, time to get bippy-bopped. Something that I didn't mention about the Master Sword beforehand, because I believe this is actually the first time that I've had full health since I have obtained it, is that you can shoot beams, which crosses over walkways and low-level things like these, which is very, very convenient for taking things out at a distance. It is a relatively powerful ranged attack to just give you for having full health. It is definitely something that I appreciate, and it is a really cool throwback to the first Legend of Zelda, which had a similar mechanic, sword beams if your health was full. It's just really, really cool stuff like that that makes Link to the Past such a beloved classic. Like, I really still think that even, this game came out in 1992, right? So that's going to be... That's 28 years, 6 years longer than I've been alive that this game has been out, and it is still an absolute joy to play through today. It's just it's such a tight game, got such enjoyable puzzles, really fantastic music. Oh man, the music. Oh man, the music. You're going to be hearing here in a second, we're very close to the final floor of Hyrule Castle here. Just gotta make it through a couple more enemies. You guys are going to be able to hear some of the best music in the entire game. I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Oh, wait. I had passed up that Sahasrahla tablet, and it feels like it is important to read one that is all the way here in Hyrule Castle, right? Let's go ahead and go back to the previous room and see what dear old S has for us.
Listen well, Dawson. Even with the Master Sword, you cannot inflict physical harm on the wizard. You must find a way to return his own evil magic power to him.
So even with the sword that pays its taxes on time, that is one of my favorite recurring gags. There's another channel that I watch. I guess this is going to be the first time I get to plug another channel. Haha, use my massive influence to get other people popular. Am I right? There's another YouTube channel that I watch, Some Call Me Johnny, that does him some video game reviews, and whenever he does a Zelda game, he has some sort of funny, clever name for the Master Sword, like the sword that always tips 20%, because it's always referred to in-game as its full, like, the Master Sword, the bane of all evil, the blade made against bad dudes. Every single time it's brought up in-game, they have to go all out with the naming. Unfortunately, I lost a half of a heart, so I'm not going to be able to use my sword beams in the fight, but I don't think that would... now that I'm saying it out loud, as soon as the words are leaving my mouth, I'm realizing just exactly how pointless those are going to be, so not too worried about it. And we've got 2 fairies in a jar, just in case I am a flubfest today, and right up these stairs, the music is going to change. I'm going to be quiet for a second, because this is intense.
Oh, Dawson, I've been waiting for you. I was hoping I could make Zelda vanish in front of your eyes. Behold, the last moment of Princess Zelda.
Hey, that's my GF. Not cool.
Oh, with this, the seal of the 7 wise men is at last broken. It is now only a matter of time before evil power covers this land. After all, the legendary hero cannot defeat us, the tribe of evil, when we are armed with the power of gold. Oh, now I must go.
Hey, nah, you better get back here, dog. We got business to settle. You just zappy-zapped my GF. I'm not taking this standing up.
Oh, so you mean to say you would like to be totally destroyed? Well, I can make your wish come true.
And here we are, the very first encounter with the evil wizard Agahnim. And just as good dear old Sahasrahla was telling us, we need to reflect his magic back at him, which you can actually see I did that on the very first strike. If he teleports... Oh. This is a kind of a tricky fight. I remember as a kid that this was one of the hardest fights in the entire game for me. It was really hard to get the pattern down. If he teleports to the very top there and he stops turning, he's going to do the lightning thing, and I think that does 2 or 3 full hearts of damage, so it's a very, very damaging move that I did not understand how to predict. So every single time he would teleport to the top of the arena, I would basically get slam dunked. But this is a relatively easy fight. This is the very first introduction of this mechanic of playing tennis. Zelda tennis is yet another mechanic from this game that would be brought on into future Zeldas. In Ocarina of Time, you got the Phantom Ganon boss fight. Oop, I did not properly read his lightning. Ocarina of Time had the Phantom Ganon boss fight that had a very similar mechanic, and I think it overall works well in this game.
Well met. Like the true hero that you are, but I am not ready to admit defeat yet. I will draw you into the Dark World.
Hey, newsflash, bud, I think we've already been to the Dark World, but if you want to drag us in, by all means, do the swooshy swoosh.
Dawson, it is I, Sahasrahla. I am communicating to you across the void through telepathy. The place where you now stand was the Golden Land, but evil power turned it into the Dark World. The wizard has broken the wise men's seal and opened a gate to link the worlds at Hyrule Castle. In order to save this half of the world, the Light World, you must win back the golden power. You must also rescue the 7 maidens who Agahnim sent to the Dark World. As members of the bloodline of the 7 wise men, they have power that will surely help you. The maidens are locked in hidden dungeons, great, full of evil creatures and dangerous traps. The Palace of Darkness should be your first goal in this world. Dawson, I can rely only on you. Please make this old man's wishes come true. I beg you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dark World. Just take a listen to this music. Just listen for a moment, if you would. I've actually been kind of sitting at the very top of the pyramid here and doing that myself, just because it is such an enjoyable and, for me, such a nostalgic track, really. And of course, our very first reward for being teleported to the Dark World is going to be the completion of our 10th heart container, which is very fantastic news, and trust me, we're going to need it. The Dark World is quite true to its name, full of evil and dastardly things. As you can see, these enemies are taking quite a few hits from our sword lasers, many, many more than the guards in Hyrule Castle could even dream of. And that is because they are significantly tougher, not only in how many hits they take to defeat, but in how many hits they will deal to you should you get hit by them. Enemies at this point of the game are now going to start dealing 2 to 3 hearts of health, just as like a default. So avoiding getting hit at this stage of the game is very critical. 10 heart containers sounds like a lot, and realistically it is. It is over half of the total that we're going to be collecting, or exactly half of the total we're going to be collecting, rather. since there are 20 heart containers in total once you've grabbed all of the things. It may sound like a lot, but trust me, when you start taking damage from these enemies, you will find very, very swiftly that it is not nearly as much as you would like it to be. So, what I'm doing right now is we actually need approximately 110 rupees in order to accomplish the next task that we have, so I'm going to be exploring objects, killing enemies, doing all of the random fun stuff that we need to do in order to see if I can get about 15 more rupees. Why not? I'm bad at math. Math has never been my strong suit, but then again, neither really has English, so school was just kind of a sad time for me. I would always be capable of doing fine on tests and such, but actually getting me to do my homework in school was like pulling teeth, because it's just like, man, I can do the thing. I did the test, and I showed you that I can do the thing. Why do I need to double show you that I can do the thing? Typically the answer to that question is to actually ensure that you have the knowledge of the thing in the first place, and so that you're not, blind firing. But I don't know. Moving on. We've got more important things to do, such as continuing our rupee gathering quest. These weird vine-looking enemies. These pig guys, I believe, are moblins. The OG incarnation, or no, the OG one is definitely from the first Legend of Zelda. The spear-throwing guys in that game. In the Lost Woods. Most obnoxious enemy in the game, I swear. Those little vine-looking guys, though, have a high propensity of dropping 20s, the red rupees, so those are going to be our primary target here. There are quite a few. Yeah, they like to drop blues very frequently as well. And look at that! 3 damage from a crow running into me. 3 entire hearts. That is like a third of my health just completely gone, and that is with me having gone out of my way to get as many heart pieces as possible before this point. And that is already, I'm already in a sketchy situation with the very first enemy encounter, or the very first time that I get hit. So I was not joking. I was very, very deadly serious before when I was saying that this place is dangerous. It is, you need to be on your guard. The game has taken the kid gloves off at this point. You've completed the first 3 dungeons, and so the game is like, oh, you think you got the mechanics? Bet. And then you're teleported to the dark world with, if you actually hit the start screen, you can see our pendants have been replaced with, indeed, 7 crystals. So, we've got a lot of work to do. That's why I was saying beforehand, we are not even close to halfway through the game at quite this point. Still got a lot more dungeons to go through, a lot more heart pieces to collect, and a whole heck of a lot more items to collect as well. There's a bread. That's actually going to clear things up for us, and this is actually the exact area that we're going to be using this 110 rupees. So if I'm remembering correctly, go through here. No, you go through the other way. This little maze area is kind of tricky. You can barely see Link through the top of the canopy here, and you can use it to get yourself out of the maze. Direct yourself such a direction to get...
I'm Kiki the monkey, Kiki. I love rupees more than anything. Can you spare me 10 rupees?
I guess I can give you 10 rupees. It's not like I'm using them for much else in the first place.
Kiki, good choice. I will accompany you for a while. Kiki.
Fair enough. I don't particularly mind this development as long as we can continue to grab more rupees from these vine jujube they're like upgraded jujubes from before. They're like the same enemy but different.
Kiki, if you give me 100 rupees, I will open the entrance for you. Kiki.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think there's anywhere we're going to be getting on top of this temple ourselves, so might as well ask the monkey, right?
Kiki, good choice. Then I get 100 of your rupees. Kiki.
Thank you for laughing at me, Mr. Monkey. That is what I deserve for giving 110 rupees to a monkey. But indeed, that is going to open up the pathway, and if we check our map, this is indeed the very first Dark World Palace. I'm almost tempted to leave off the episode here, As a matter of fact, I know that this is cutting it relatively short, but as long as I'm past the 15-minute mark, I'm relatively okay with that. And we got through Hyrule Castle and got a heart piece, so that's relatively okay progress, and this will make things very clean for the next video. I won't have to cut right before the boss or something ridiculous like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed part number 6 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, and I hope you guys will be staying tuned for part number 7. My name is Reddy Opko, and I hope to be seeing you then.